Hello there, it's Ruth here at Artful Stamping, independent Stampin Up demonstrator for the UK and Europe. Today we're going to be making this card here with this gorgeous daffodil design, and I was immediately drawn to this stamp set. It's the Inspiring You, You're Inspiring stamp set from the Spring Summer catalogue with these beautiful daffodils. And the reason I was drawn to this is because my team name is the Daffodil Delights. So if you join Stampin Up and you join under me, then you will become one of my Daffodil Delights. So the imagery is beautiful for colouring in, really gorgeous lines, and we have some really nice sentiments as well that are suitable for lots of different occasions. You know, wonderful to have another happy birthday with this lovely script kind of handwriting. It almost looks like someone's just handwritten it themselves with a really nice pen. Well, the card today that I'm going to show you uses a technique using the Stamparatus, although you don't necessarily need to have it to be able to do it. So we're just going to do this repeat stamping across the top and the bottom, but actually it's the left and the right when you turn it up the right way. However, you can keep the design like that if you want to and put your focal point in the middle. And the reason you're going to need to put the focal point in the middle is because there is a little bit of a crossover with the design, as you're going to see. So we've got a piece of white cardstock all ready to go here. I've put it 1 centimetre in from the edges, and with your Stamparatus you need to have the corner at the edges at the top and at the left hand side with your window at the top. Now that is important to have that set up, and you'll see why now. So I'm going to place my image just about another centimetre inside of my cardstock and just lay it down. And then pick it up with my Stamparatus. Yes, I have had already ink on there. I started shooting this video and I made a mistake, so I needed to do it again, but there we go. And you'll see that the great thing about the Stamparatus is that you can re-ink and stamp again. So just firm pressure on the image itself, lift off, and there we have it. Then we're going to move the window over by 2 notches. Stamp again, or ink up again, put down and stamp down. Now you may be wondering why I don't have the paper right up into the corner. That's because sometimes we find that with stamps that are placed too near to the edges here, you have to press extra hard to actually get them to kind of like stamp really to connect really well. So it's better just to do it this way, and then you know you're going to get a really good impression. So I'm just going to turn my cardstock round, place it again in there, put my magnet there to make sure it doesn't move, and you'll notice that I didn't move the window, I left it where it was. So we're going to just stamp again, move it up, and then stamp my image again. And there you have the lovely design going down the edge of your card. I'm just going to pop that away for a second. So down the centre of the design we're going to be putting this lovely piece of grey gingham ribbon. And then now on to stamping the main image, which is this beautiful daffodil design. So this you can just do with a normal block, or you can do it with your Stamparatus. So I'm just going to colour my image up in with the Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends. I've got the pale Daffodil Delight one, or the light one here, and the dark one. And I'm just going to add a little bit of darker tones then to the colour there. And then when I do the leaves, because I'd like to have a sort of yellowy green leaf as well as just a green leaf, I'm just going to show you a quick tip that you can do with that. I'm just going to colour in some of these leaves, sort of half of them, with the yellow, and I'm not being really particularly kind of careful about where exactly I'm doing it. And then when I go over with the green, you'll find that you'll get the kind of lighter versions there. Right, I'll carry on colouring this in. So when you finish colouring in your image, you need to punch it out with a 2 1/4 centimetre circle punch. And I'm going to be mounting it onto this pre-cut scallop circle from the circle framelit set. Before I do that, however, I'm going to be punching out some leaves, because you're not going to see this circle once the white daffodil image is going to go on it, so I'm not going to waste it, and I'm going to just punch these 2 out. So this is one of the labels from the label framelit set as well. Excuse me. But before I stick the leaves on together, I'm going to just colour in a little bit of the leaves, just to get a little bit more depth onto them. So I'm using the light old olive that I used earlier for colouring in the daffodils, just to add an extra bit of colour onto this yellow, this Daffodil Delight cardstock here. There we go. And then I'm just going to, just another little tip with shaping your leaves. I use the end of my Tombow glue just to kind of squash into the leaves there, just to help curl them up a bit. And then the other thing you can do is to go around the edge of the circle with a pale grey Stampin' Blends, but I think I'm going to just do it with a yellow one. So you just very gently just go around the edge, just to give it a little bit of a border. There we go. Right, so then we're going to use the dimensionals to put it all together. So just place dimensionals on the back of the circle. Stick that together. And then we're going to pop a few more onto the back of this. Oh, actually we can pop them there. Just to give an extra bit of dimension and to really show off the gorgeous colouring in that you've done. So just eyeball it and aim it in the centre. So then to adhere the leaves, I suggest you use the smaller dimensionals. Let me bring in the stamping that we did earlier. So a little tip to stick ribbon on. I've already put some tear and tape on the back of that, and so that it doesn't stick to my grid paper as I put the ribbon on, I'm just going to use the tear and tape and pop it there, put that over the top, get my ribbon, lay it on, and then just fold it behind there. And I can pick it up and fold it behind there. So we've got that central part hidden now. And then we're going to just adhere that to cover up where it's connected there. So you can put it straight in the middle if you want to, but I'd like to have it a little bit higher up so that you've got space to put the sentiment and it doesn't look too crowded. Oh, my glue's not very happy today. It's needing a bit of a push. So there we go. I'm just going to place that down there and hold that down until it's stuck. And then the little dimensionals, I just pop behind a couple of these leaves and then tuck them in somewhere behind there. And I quite like it that the leaves kind of curl up a little bit from the the card. I don't like particularly flat cards when you're using all this texture. It's nice to have some dimension. And there we go. Right, so let's get this adhered to the card. As I said, if you want to put a sentiment on, you can do, and there are some lovely ones in this stamp set. I just stamped and cut it out by hand, but there are various framelits that you can use to cut out sentiments if you wish to. And there we have it, my spring daffodil card. Even though it doesn't feel particularly spring-like at the moment with all the snow that we've had. Right, well, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see, and head to artfulstampin.co.uk to purchase any of these supplies. Take care for now. Bye.